of the sport and organization continues and has actually accelerated since then. So all this really hinges on this cultural transformation that I've talked about since I took this role 4.5 years ago. And so almost every bit of good news that has come out of this sport, from legend athletes returning, to new partnerships, to this new feeling of fun and celebration, is in some way a reflection of all the work that our organization and frankly the entire gymnastics community has done to define and cultivate this new culture that really prioritizes the athletes and their safety, health, and wellness. So we've focused on doing the right thing and achieving results rather than talking about it. You've heard me say that before. But having said that, I am happy to be able to talk about some of those results today with all of you. So most relevant is welcoming our newest partner, GymCastic, with the title partner of Xfinity US Gymnastics Championships. And in terms of the state of the sport, my first topic really must be about the athletes, as we're always focused on them and they're a priority of ours. So from the competitive aspect, the US had a really successful World Championships in Liverpool last fall. And since that time for the women, obviously there's just been a bit of news with the return to competition of Olympic all-around gold medalist Simone Biles and Suni Lee, and another Olympic all-around gold medalist with Gabby Douglas announcing her return to Olympic elite competition as well. So you may have seen that Simone announced her return to the sport in a really big way with her commanding performance at the Core Hydration Classic just a couple weeks ago. And it was really, really fantastic and heartwarming to see her perform so well on her own terms and frankly really enjoying it at the same time. So Simone and Suni are going to be joining what is a US women's lineup that is frankly already the best in the world, with the likes of Charlize Jones, Jade Carey, Jordan Childs, Sky Blakely, Leanne Wong, Kayla DiCello, among many others. We also have up-and-comers like Jocelyn Roberson and Zoe Miller as well, who are really making their marks too. And so the depth of talent, as I mentioned before, is absolutely incredible and unlike we have ever seen before. Now, our men, the US men, are also getting stronger and stronger as well, with veterans and Olympians like Joel Moldauer and Shane Wiskus and 5-time national champion Donnell Wittenberg. They're all ready to compete here in San Jose. And then we also have exciting young athletes like Asher Hong and Fred Richard, who are keeping everyone on their toes too. So given our location, I really do have to mention the Stanford men's team and their alumni, including Asher, Colt Walker, Riley Lewis, Kern Phillips, Coy Young, and Brody Malone, as they have really been a real cornerstone of men's elite gymnastics. So we have 11 men here with ties to Stanford, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy what is practically a hometown crowd for them. Also, there are many other disciplines that we oversee. So talking about those who aren't here in San Jose, they are doing incredibly well as well. So at the Rhythmic Junior World Championships recently, Rin Keys won our first ever medal at a junior or a senior Rhythmic World Championships. And we should note that our senior women are competing at the Rhythmic World Championships in Valencia, Spain this week, so we wish them the best of luck too. And last year, our US athletes won gold medals in trampoline, tumbling, and acrobatic gymnastics. So on an overall scale, our athletes are really performing well on the global stage. Now, aside from achievements on the mat, I also have to talk about the mental, physical, and emotional safety of our athletes, as that's always a priority for us. And so last fall, we began a program with our partner GK Elite to reimburse national team athletes and coaches for mental health visits. And this year we started having emotional support dogs at our key events. In fact, when I was walking in just now, one of them is here on site. And so these emotional support dogs are not only for the benefit of our athletes, but coaches and even judges as well. And I really, honestly, I can't begin to tell you how well that this program has been received. And in fact, yesterday when I was here for training, the athletes couldn't stop talking about how excited they were to see the emotional support dogs here on site. So we first started it at our Rhythmic Elite Qualifier a few months ago in Indianapolis. And we'll have several dogs here on site throughout the week. The buy-in of our community to the principles of safe sport and really embracing the change of the culture of gymnastics has been incredibly heartening. So for each of the last 2 years, Positive Coaching Alliance has named 2 gymnastics coaches among their double goal coaching awardees. So last year, 2022, Risha Pruitt was actually named the National Coach of the Year. And this year, we're going to be recognizing Mitch Connor of Wisconsin and Craig Thibodeau of New Hampshire for their positive impact that they're having on the sport. And just to give you a little bit of perspective in terms of how incredible of achievement this is, there are only 25 coaches across all sports, across the entire nation, that are named to the double goal coach awardees. And to have gymnastics coaches, 2 of them named 2 years in a row, is really, truly remarkable. So this is all part of the cultural change that I've been talking about from day one. It's been years in the making. And as we all know, cultural change is not easy and it's not quick. It takes many years in the making to happen. And for those of you who were in Tampa last year for this event, I hope you noticed that there seemed to be a renewed feeling of energy and joy, and that there seemed to be more happiness and celebration around the event as well. And I think we saw even more of that a couple weeks ago in Chicago. And while there's no question that this is an intense competition, our goal has always been to make this sport more safe, and as a result, to make it fun again as well. And so, whether someone is an athlete, a fan, a parent, a coach, a judge, a club owner, a member of the media, or a volunteer, we really want all of you to feel safe and enjoy the event as well. And so one way we're having a little bit of fun is we're going to be introducing a new mascot tomorrow. We're going to be unveiling it at the opening session of our National Congress. And so throughout this process of developing the mascot, we've been having fun as well. So we engaged the public to let us know what they thought the mascot should be, and then we're also going to be engaging the public to name the mascot once it's unveiled. So starting tomorrow, we're going to be soliciting names on social media, and then we will officially name it at competition, I believe at the completion of competition on Sunday. Is that correct, Jill?
Yep. Yeah, Sunday night.
Yeah. So now, even though mascot may seem lighthearted, because it really is, it's actually all a part of this cultural change in terms of bringing a lot more fun to the sport. And in terms of this cultural change, we've really focused on building it brick by brick. And so you may have heard me talk about the 3 Ps: new people, new priorities, and new policies. And so our progression in terms of how we've gotten to where we are today is we've been hiring new people and the right people. We've been putting athletes and those who support the athletes as a priority, and we've been creating policies and instituting policies that support those new priorities. So like the Athlete Bill of Rights and our Code of Ethical Conduct and our safety and response policies as well. So I've said this before, that we've always wanted to show how we change rather than talk about it. And as the old adage goes, actions speak louder than words. As I sit in front of you today, I can truly share that countless athletes, coaches, members of the community, and other organizations that come up to me and have said that they are truly seeing and feeling this change. So in addition to a few of the things I just mentioned, I want to talk about a couple of the new initiatives we have coming down the pipeline. So one of it is that we are working on resetting our foundation. We're going to be refocusing it on fundraising and development so we can actually allocate more resources towards athlete programming and growing the sport. And as for the Training and Wellness Center, we recently kicked off that process by issuing a request for expression of interest. And I should note that we purposefully call it a Training and Wellness Center because it's going to be focused on holistic athlete wellness. The vision of this facility is that it is going to be the heart and hub of gymnastics in America. So it's going to be where national teams will train. It's going to be where athletes of all ages and levels will be able to see their role models train. They will be able to participate in camps and clinics. We'll hold educational clinics for coaches and judges here. So it's really going to be a place of celebration, a place of gathering for the entire gymnastics community. Now, to date, we've received over a dozen responses to that request for expression of interest. And we're going to be identifying finalist cities probably early next year, which will then move on to the next round. And It's really a little too soon to say where we'll be located and when we're going to break ground, but I can tell you that this is a long-term project that we're all really, really excited to be a part of. Now, as a result of everything I've just talked about and the business of USA Gymnastics and our mission of supporting athletes, that has really manifested itself in terms of being able to bring a series of new partners to the table. So we're so fortunate to have some longtime partners who have reviewed with us over the last year. But I have to say that this past year, 2023, has been a game changer for us. So since January, we have named 5 brand new partners, and most recently Comcast, Core Hydration, and Nike as well. So now we have this really incredible portfolio of committed partners who are going to be helping us grow the sport, and they're going to be enhancing our existing events. They're going to be establishing new support programs like the one I just talked about mental health initiatives, and they're going to be creating new programs to attract more athletes to the sport of gymnastics. So only by relentlessly pursuing this cultural change have we been able to get to where we are today. And now we're at a place where not just athletes and coaches want to come back and be a part of this community, but we actually now have corporate partners and major corporate partners who are wanting to be a part of this community as well. So all of these partnerships, projects, and athletic results that I've just talked about really reflect that when you live your values and when others around you believe in them as well, that good things start to happen.